Hungry eyes, I didn't have any fucking lunch today. Hungry eyes, neither did I eat a substantial meal. So the joke is on me for not having any dinner tonight. But the good thing is, I have one of these original long drinks from Finland. I will enjoy this as it is the first beverage of the night. I shall enjoy this. I deserve it after the fucking day I've had, I tell you. As you might have noticed, I've redecorated my thumbnail and the banner. I did that today. That's what I did today, amongst other things, trying to get some footage for the artwork that will go along with the dates in London I will be doing with Stephen the Cowboy Kelly. And hopefully, if any of y'all Mars who watch this show from stateside, if you fancy coming to Arizona on the 14th of April, that's the plan. My man, Matt Strangeways, good bloke, really decent guy, lives over there in bloody Phoenix. It don't sound like this, mate, but it looks the same as the Australian Outback. So we got 2 viewers in the house tonight. I'm a little bit later than expected, as I was getting stuck trying to make the Photoshop experience literally jump out of the page. Shawneen from Chicago. Good to see you, sir. How are you? How's it going there with your famous mayor, played by Michael Keating in the Tim Burton classic Beetlejuice? Do we only have 2 viewers in the house tonight? What's going on here? Maybe everyone's out drinking, partying, living life to the extreme. I'm waiting for my fellow Chii man, Andy Wallace, to enter the stream. Andito Banderas, I know you can hear me. I know this. Ah, here he is. I'm with her. Chii man on a Friday night. Andito Banderas, what gives, Papa Shango? 1 second, lad. 1 second. Justin Scroll, man, that's a man I ain't seen for mother time. Or should I say father time? Papa Tiempos, as you'd say in Spanish. Can you please correct me on that, Sean, to make sure that that was actually a good translation? Papa Tiempos. See now, very primitive. I've got this here. Andy, talk to me, baby boy. Hold on a second. Have I even plugged this bastard in? I have. Yes. Soon to be ex-mayor. Hey, how about that fucking mayor Beetlejuice over there? 1 second, Andito Banderas. Let me see what the deal is with this carry on. Let me just take a swig of this first. Just give me some statutures. Oh, that was rather nice. That was great. That was. Have you got your mic in there, brother man?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Brilliant. I don't even need the headphones. What a result, man. How you doing, Andito?
I'm good. How are you? It's been a while. We need to do this more often.
Mate, I'm pumped. I just feel so pumped to be here, man. I'm so pumped. I'm like this. Just like to feel it's going to be a great stream. It's going to be a great stream. You were supposed to join. Sorry about that. You were supposed to join us. Sorry about that. I've just got a bit of bronchial zonage going on. So you're supposed to join me a couple of weeks ago with Dr. David. We were going to watch.
Fucking weird. I met on a date with this girl. Pfizer job, PhD from Pfizer. Right.
Pfizer.
I'm dropping her back to a gaff.
Pfizer.
I don't mean to go down the rabbit hole straight away. You know, I'm not one of them guys. But she was like PhD at Pfizer, and I took the wrong turn. Should they have a whole fucking town umbrella job, Resident Evil zone in Dublin?
Oh yeah,
down like it's Pfizer whole fucking town you could drive around. I was dropping this bird back, and I took the wrong turn, and like somehow the security gates were still open, and it was just like a whole road. Like,
where was this?
Mate, it just went on for fucking miles. No, in Dublin. We were near Newcastle,
really?
down in Newcastle in Dublin. Like Pfizer have like a whole fucking a compound. I was fucking dropping this girl back in. I was like, horrific.
I never knew that.
Horrific.
I never knew
yeah,
that.
It was horrible. So we'll talk about it off chat, but like.
Yeah, man, you don't want the what's that Greek lad who runs it? He looks like his throat is looks like he's some sort of weird fucking body snatcher.
Stelios.
Stelios from EasyJet. Fucking put this blanket around me, man. It's -8 degrees Celsius here tonight, and it's supposed to be going down to -14. And even with the central heating on, it does fuck all difference. Oh, the
The
old
central
war,
heating.
man. Fair play. You know what? I often think this war, yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely, it's a civil war, man. I don't need no civil war. Feed where is the war? Power hungry, selling soldiers in a human grocery store. Ain't that rich? That kind of bullshit, man. Don't want any of that. I'm a peacemaker.
Yeah.
What was that?
Peacemaker die.
Peacemaker die. I don't know why. That was a nod to both Guns N' Roses and Extreme. Andy Wallace, got to credit you, mate, for getting me into Extreme because
Yeah.
I meant to get into them sooner because of all the flashy guitarist stuff. And I think maybe if I had have got into them sooner, it would have pushed me into more of it would have set the bar a lot higher for me. But I got into music playing fucking Travis and Stereophonics. Not exactly the kind of stuff you want to be boshing out hard riffs. Patrick, that man understands. Hope you got to Pfizer her.
Yeah.
She probably got special discount on the morning after pill.
Weirdly, an anti-vaxxer and a PhD working at Pfizer. It tells you all you need to know.
Well, you know what? She was an anti-vaxxer and worked there. Does indeed tell you all that Pfizer hardly knew her.
That's very
All
funny.
that, Shawnee. We got Matty Shipley. All right, there, Matty, baby. How are you getting on, lads? How are you getting on? Where's CM Fox, man? I'm expecting him. Where is he? He's another fucking stalwart of what's right and wrong. And just because your opinions might not be popular, I'm going to talk about myself in this context, doesn't mean you're not fucking wrong. Andy, what do you think about the media, the way it, just manipulates people and keeps them absolute shite? And is it what's going on, Andy, mate? You're a fucking smart lad, man. You know what I mean? You're like a modern day Lex Friedman or Bob Lazar.
You're breaking up.
What's the deal with Lex Friedman, man? Where the fuck did he come out of all of a sudden? He's got really
fucking robot.
Yeah, I'm Lex Friedman. Let's just
built
talk
himself
like we
out of a
smoked
fucking
7
Meccano set.
bowls. What you say?
He built himself out of a fucking Meccano set. He's not real.
He built himself out of a Meccano set.
He might be real, but do you know he gets some good people on there, but yeah, he's just a bit of an oddball.
You know, the only thing I can think of whenever I think of Lex Friedman is Robbie Williams. Is this real? Because I feel fake. Oprah Winfrey, Ricky Lake, telling me a load of stuff I don't give a fuck about. Because you know that my life is a mess. I still haven't taken my guitar back from the pub. It's been there for since Christmas.
Which pub? The
like an upside down flower pot with that hat on.
What pub was it? The Verdstroms. I had a very good time there.
Oh, it's fucking great. Listen, right. You guys got to come back, man.
Did you have a good birthday? You have a good birthday. So this
I had a wonderful
decompress.
Birthday,
I haven't spoken to you since your birthday, right?
And I haven't done a jot of exercise since my birthday, to be quite honest with you.
What even happened? I wanted to burn down the fucking Airbnb when it went sideways. I was like, all right, what the fuck's going on here? I just need to leave.
Right, let's refresh. So we had some party goers in the next room, and one of which shall remain nameless, but she kept blasting from a Bluetooth speaker Ann Lee's. It was just nothing. Like we were all trying to sleep in the bed, and I was on the floor at one stage in the recovery position, just to try and get some comfort and just try and get some sleep. And then I got onto the bed, and then Gavigan was on the floor, even though he was paying for the gaff. And it was kind of akin to what poor bastards in Guantanamo Bay must have been Just having shite music pumped at them and not being able to
they're
sleep.
strapped to a wall and they're making them listen to fucking Metallica at full blast.
Yeah. Dr. David, I believe he's on holiday. Will you be joining us from the holiday? The lines are open for you, David, if you do wish to join. Andy Wallace is here. He's like you, a smart, intelligent, funny bastard who's sound. Twitter is just road rage. The need to be right is more important than the issue. It gets so dull. Yes, it does indeed. It's like the cat and the dog. They live with each other now. They tolerate each other, but there's a constant standoff on the stairs. Managed to get the two of them, just with all the cats and the dogs in the one room. So they put up with each other now, which is a great step. If they can do it, there's hope for Palestine and Israel, Ukraine and Russia, and fucking Culture and Swinford.
So what's the deal with the cat and you got one cat and one dog?
2 cats, 1 dog. You do the math.
2 cats, 1 dog, and they weren't getting along.
Well, they're all right now. They're putting up with each other, so that's good. Anyone watching the Matt Taibbi committee hearing yesterday? Crazy shit. I saw a bit of it, Justin, where they were trying to get him to reveal his sources. Wasn't he was the guy who basically released the Twitter papers, and they were asking him where he got his sources from. And he was like, well, I can't tell you, I'm a journalist. And they're like, what, was it Elon? It was Elon. And he was like, well, and then someone else just comes in who was on the committee and was like, if it was Elon, then maybe he's not allowed to talk about it because of some sort of legal issue. And if it was a source, then he's a journalist, so we can't talk about that either. Do you remember all these fucking soft pricks in Ireland, man? I'm going on Mastodon. Michael D. Higgins is there. Miggly Piggly. Oh, tea call him like a Irish tea. Biscuits and scones and fucking Father Cake Festival. You know what I mean? It's just so cloying and maudling, sentimental, hanging on to a fucking concept that is vanishing like dust in the wind.
Yeah, that's what it is. Fucking everything they clung to is vanishing so quickly. Like that's why they have to cling to wokeness, because it's like that's all they've got left.
I tell you, this pendulum is fucking swinging back on that shit, big time.
It's like Bitcoin.
Like Bitcoin, that don't even get me started on that shit, man. I literally, I've just been at a constant loss since I embarked on that stupid fucking thing. And then Joe Biden taking capital gains to the next level. Just fucking just fleecing the people. The whole point of crypto was to basically cut out the middleman and to be able to have peer-to-peer transactions without having to give it to fucking unaccounted shadow bastards who just steal everything from it.
The unaccountable shadow bastards.
Unaccountable shadow bastards. Man, imagine having one of them jobs, just like making money from nothing. It's just like give each other a big fucking reach around double bonus at the end of the year.
Yeah,
buying ultra yacht with Billy Boy Gates.
That'll come to an end though. Like the professional managerial class, which is what most fucking jobs are, especially in Ireland and the UK. Like most people they do bollocks all. They're just middle management weirdos, and that's what most fucking jobs are.
Yeah, it's just it's almost like they've taken the the way the Romans used to have a top-down vertical hierarchical system that keeps everyone in place. That's where it kind of they've just taken the Roman like need to know basis where it's just like there's a chain of command and the people below don't really. They're just mama men and Chii boys at the end of the day, man. And the Bushwackers.
Exactly.
Have you ever been familiar, Andy, with Randy Quaid and the Starwackers?
Randall Quaid.
Yeah. Random Quaid.
As in, like, what was he? Red Heat with Arnie? No, that was someone else.
No, that was James Belushi.
I've had a few beers. Yeah, it was the other Belushi.
Yeah.
Which one was Randy Quaid?
Randy
the one
Quaid, Midnight Express. He was the lad who flew the plane up into the F-16 up into the fucking spaceship at Independence Day, and he's like, "I'm back."
Yeah, that's the guy. The shit is full in what was it? That Chevy Chase Christmas movie.
That's right.
Shit is
yeah.
Full.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new fucking what's his name? He went out with. Oh, man, sorry, I've had a few beers. I'm trying to remember.
All right, you know,
he was in. He's done that new film where he fucking crashes the plane. What's his name? He was not Children of Men. That's Owen Wilson. The other guy.
Owen
He
Wilson.
went out. Not Owen.
Clive
Not
Owen.
Owen Wilson. Not Clive. Yeah, Clive Owen. I'm just gonna stop talking about movies.
It's all right, man.
But he's done that new movie.
Yes, Fernando Blanco. He is indeed Dennis Quaid's brother. Angelo Quaid. When somebody asks you if you're a god, you say yes. Sean says, I'm curious to hear from Randy Quaid thoughts on Will Smith. Like, did Randy bang Jada too? Wow. I mean, have you tapped the sacred Jada yet? And did you while you were in the States?
Sacred JD.
Yeah, did you have sex with Jada Smith at all?
JD Smith? No, I haven't had the pleasure, unfortunately.
Tell you, I'd rather be with her than Madonna.
He was in 300. Sorry, who's the geezer from 300? Like the main guy. This is Sparta.
Scottish lad.
Yeah, he that new movie where he fucking crashes the plane.
Oh, what's his fucking name? A Butler. It's
yeah, Gerard Butler. His new one. It's quite good.
Oh, did I see Jose Vega on Jimmy Dore tonight? Top lad. I didn't, but he did say put in a good word for me. I'll be waiting, man. Imagine if I get on the Jimmy Dore show, I'd be like, I'll have a bit of that, lads. I'd be like, we got a comedian over here from Ireland. You know, and I don't know, I can't do his accent, but it'd be nice to go on there, and I'd be like, listen, lads, Maloney's Digest. I did some new artwork. You might have seen it, and pictures from 4 years ago. But I just thought, you know what, give it a bit of a professional touch. It's time to get into the big leagues, and I'm going to pick up an extra 17 subscribers over the course of the next 3 months. I noticed my subscriber count, it hasn't really gone up lately. Been hovering around, but saying I only do Friday Night Lives, really. Well, the odd short video as well. But I quite like it, man. We've got Pantera, the guy. Sorry about that. Gerard Butler, thank you very much. Hinden Peter.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry. I sound like a weirdo trying to think of that, but yeah, Gerard Butler, his new one, it's very good. Watch it.
Lads, have much sense. Kevin E. Moran, the man himself. He's on the night shift. I can't even click my finger because the fucking.
He's on the night train.
Bottoms up, I'm on a night train. Fill my cup, I'm on a night train. Ready to crash and burn. What if we just did karaoke where we just played karaoke songs and we just did karaoke?
Mate. We're up for that.
Yeah. What were you up to for the night, Andito?
Just having a few cans, waiting for this to start. Thought we were doing it at 11, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, 11 your time. Oh yeah, which I'm still late. But then again, you know, things took longer than we did. It was there was a bit of a time permutational flux field.
Time dilation.
Time dilation. Bob Lazar came with the UFO. Speaking of which, right? Strange thing. Remember the time I was telling you about that thing I saw on the plane? And weirdly enough, according to the Wikipedia entry about Foo Fighters, which is what they were, those orbs were known as back in the 40s when they were doing the Allies were going over the continent in bombers. Well, when I was showing that that Swedish guy, the old lad beside me, we had the Wi-Fi on the plane and that, and I was like, Foo Fighters, man, that's what it was, this big ball of light, and it said disc or wedge-shaped object. And I was like, I tried to film it, but like I ended up just taking a photograph of the inside of the plane. But then I just held the camera against the window and filmed for about 45 seconds. And I did catch a little ball. It's kind of going along like this. And then you kind of see it at the end. It kind of turns into like 3 points of light, like a triangle. Hence the wedge shape. I have it in here. Like, I mean, what I'd have to do
on those videos is like, what's that about when they like break apart and then come back together? It's like,
I don't know, man. Really don't know what it's about, but like that for me personally kind of changed the way I thought about things. I was like, I don't know. It could be some technology from humans. It could be interdimensional. It could be extraterrestrial. It could be spiritual. We have no idea.
Cliff Richard.
Sorry?
Could be Cliff Richard.
Well, yeah, could well be. Bit of a nonce.
That's what he's up to. You reckon?
I don't know, man. Sometimes these people who claim they're too sweet to be wholesome, they were usually the ones to, you know what I mean?
So what happened? You reported it to the air hostess.
Yeah. And the other two guys who'd seen it as well were with me. And of course, I was the spokesman on behalf of us. And she just probably took a look at my long ponytail and saw that I'd had a hefty night the night before for Paddy's Day in London and conceded that I must have been under the influence of drugs. But then how could I have? Would that have been some sort of telepathic fucking acid trip that had leaked into the minds of the passengers beside me? I think not, Andy. And had I have not, if I was the only one to have seen it, I probably would have been like, I saw this thing, but the fact that I had two guys there who also seen it, I was like, at least I wasn't the only one, and they all seen it. I hadn't said a word to the old Swedish lad who had Parkinson's eating the Toblerone. Like I got on there and I was in fucking bits, man. Like got on the ain't gonna plane. So I was like, oh, back to the grind in Sweden. I've just been living the good times over in. Fucking met Harry. I met like the night before was interesting enough. I met Johnny Borrell from Razorlight. Then I met fucking Harry Styles and Liam Gallagher, and Christopher Eccleston was like, you go to Highgate, man, that they're all hanging around up there, and you're like, bloody hell, this is where they must be hanging out. So it was an interesting night of it, to say the least. And yeah, then on the plane, yeah, man. Yeah, that was the other thing. I was trying to convert. Like, such an idiot, man. Like I got paid. I did a gig in Leeds, a gig in London, and I had a load of sterling on me. And I was in Gatwick, and this thing was like, over £300. We won't charge you for the currency conversion. So I was like, basically for like Swedish krona to pounds, I was getting back pound for pound, and I was like, hang on a minute, this isn't right. So I phoned up the currency exchange that I go to in Sweden, and I was like, if I was to give you X amount of pounds, what would I get back for you in krona? And they were like, oh, well, you get this back. And I went, you motherfuckers. So I went back and I went, they were all friendly and nice. And I was like, excuse me, you're after ripping me off. Like I said, like, there's a difference of like €150 here. And you would just happily take that money off me. And this is fucking like high street robbery, daylight robbery. And they were like, oh, well, I was like, listen, I want to speak to your manager. I said, that's like a week's shopping or like a week and a half shopping for my kids, or that's like a fucking travel card for the month. I said, I want that money back. So I got it back. They eventually gave me most of it back. And I think the difference was like about €20. So I was like, all right, that'll do for the convenience. But yeah, watch those places. So I was a bit rattled when I got on the plane. Little bit poorly after the 2 nights I had traveling around and gigging and drinking and whatnot. And this lad sits on. We're on the emergency exit seat, so we had a nice bit of leg room. So I had a good kip. But before I nodded off, I seen your man, the old Swedish boy, beside me. He was there was an empty space in the middle, and he was eating a full, not like the medium Toblerones, but the massive full size one. And he's just eating the whole thing like that. And I was like, fucking hell, he's enjoying himself. More power to him. And he was like shaking Stevens as well. He had a bit of Parkinson's going on. And woke up when the landing lights were going off, or like they turned the lights off, and I was like, sweet, man, I've woke up for the best bit when you don't have the cabin lights on. Looked out the window, seen this like light. It looked like we were flying over a town with like light pollution in the clouds. The next thing, it started moving. Ball of light comes up, does a 90-degree turn, starts following the plane. And I mean, it was freaky enough when I saw this ball of light just coming, it lit the clouds up and then just rising, and we were flying past it. And then to see the fucking thing do a right angle turn and then follow and just stay at the same, basically it was right outside my window, but I couldn't tell how far it was or how near it was. So as this thing was like right there going parallel to us, I grabbed the old guy and I went, look. So he's like, looking by the window, and he's like this. He's out the other window, and we're both looking at it, and this thing is just like floating smoothly along and goes right off, straight in front of the plane, at like just gone. We were doing probably about 400 fucking mile an hour or something. So the guy grabs me and grabs me by the jacket, and he's like, "Oi, oi, oi! They've had an UFO," which means it was a UFO in Swedish. And I went, "Yeah, man, Foo Fighters." And then I got up on Wikipedia, and that's when I found out about that. And then I turned around to this guy behind me who was Egyptian descent, but he was born and raised in London, wearing a nice suit, ear pods in, looking like the bee's knees. And I said, "Sorry, mate." And he goes, "Yeah." And I went, "Did you see that ball of light outside?" He went, "Yeah, I did. What the fuck was that? That thing had intelligence." So we were all pretty shook when we saw it. Actually, interesting here. That hey, Matty boy, see you in Arizona, 965. I went with Travis Walton and a handful of others to the location where he was abducted in 1975. It was 40 years to the day. That was an amazing film, very underrated. Fire in the Sky, and it had.
Yeah, that was weird, right? Fucking hell, that guy. See him on Joe Rogan?
Who?
Travis
The guy who was
Walton.
abducted.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
Yeah, that film was weird because in the film you think like an alien's ship was going to be all like bright lights and sterile, but in that film it's like dingy and dirty looking, and as he's being dragged along in this kind of like semi-gravitational environment, there's just like
It's
bits
horrible.
that have fallen off
Poking
people.
shit into him, like that
Yeah,
kind of.
man, they
Horrible.
did really. That was for like low budget 90s sci-fi. That was pretty. It was pretty hard hitting. That was. They put this weird like latex thing over him as like a blanket, and then this dust
Yeah.
comes, and then it just goes and sets on him, and then that thing goes into his eye. I don't know, man. I don't know about that, man. What do you think yourself, Andy? Because you were the one who actually said to me that you listened to Bob Lazar on Joe Rogan, and he said the thing that I'd explained to you, what I'd saw, is what he basically attested to as well. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that, please, Andito?
Yeah, he's definitely he knows what he's talking about. He's not some idiot that's just making up bullshit. Like you can tell he's definitely a physicist. Like I've studied physics. I have a physics degree, and I know a lot of guys that are physicists, and it's not something you can bullshit and make up like just random. You can't just lie that you're a government physicist. You have to fucking. He's definitely, you know what I mean? He studied science. He knows what he's talking about. He's not some idiot.
Who's that other lad, Simon Parks or whatever his name is? The guy who said his mother's like a
that's very
wanted
funny.
alien.
That's very funny. And he was like a counsellor for where was he?
Like Leicester or somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere like that. He was like an actual elected official, but he's like getting abducted by mantids on the regular.
Yeah, let's see what the jazz is with Simon Parks pictures.
Put him up. He was on was it This Morning? Right, Holly Willoughby and fucking what's his name?
Schofield.
Philip Schofield.
Yeah. What's the deal with Philip Schofield and that young lad? It was a bit strange, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I heard he was going to get cancelled, but it never happened.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. So here we have some of his pictures that he's done. Let's see if we can get a closer look at this one. That didn't work. So there he was as a young lad. Saturn comes like around, fix you up like a child. Bit Tool box shot. Don't know what this is about here. I don't know if you can see this cursor. What do you see? Time, this, the earth, and that's me. So that's his owl doll. It says they must be. I can't really read that. Okay, I'll just try and read out what it looks like. They must be into flowers. This is a radical Fleming. and I accept mantids, my mother, with not the slightest reaction at all, Nova. This fantastical of my wings, fur, wurs, asmer, shasafasana. Mummy, mummy, look at my toys. Oh, they're great. Did you get a Tonka truck? Sure did. Wow. Oh, baby. So, yeah. So here he is. This is more of an elaborate one here. He's like, but here he is as well. This is like kind of a. Oh, here we. Would you
This
like
is the
to
most
be like
boring
us?
man in the world. He looks like a driving instructor, which is what he is. What he did after being a.
No way.
Yeah, yes, I think that's
Showing
what his
people how to
main
drive
job was.
spaceships and the lights. There he is. So, oh, das ist gut, ein Spunken mit Alien. Ja, baby. This guy's quite interesting on the right. The Paul Hellyer. He was the first person to unequivocally say from the G8 that the aliens do exist and that they were
He was into it.
working with governments. So interesting. What do you think about in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, about the crack?
I can't even see the chat.
Oh yeah, you can go into
Oh,
comments.
yeah. Oh yeah, I can see it now. Shit.
That man has done a rake of drugs, says Shawnee.
Right.
Alien coke-fueled sex parties with Prince Andrew.
That's what you want.
The most primo.
No one's sweating. Sweating's not allowed.
I love it. Like maybe we should watch a little bit of the. We should go to like Prince Andrew highlights.
Oh man, it might not be nice though.
No, but it's just so funny to see someone who has like never been taken to task before, and let's see, Prince Andrew interview. Funny, yeah, I guess that'll do. Oh, I see. Prince Andrew definitely not being suspicious at all. Compilation, the Russell Howard Hour. What's the deal with Russell Howard? Because he was like anytime I've been in Galway house parties, and
Russell Howard. Oh man.
you know what I mean? Like you'd be going to a house in Galway, like when I was like long out of the school days, and you'd be visiting someone, they'd just be like sitting around watching Russell Howard's Good News. And do you remember that bit with Stuart Lee was talking? It's like, what is with all these comedians these days? They all seem to be called Russell. They're like the skeletons from Clash of the Titans, only their eyes are darker.
So he's I don't know. He's a bit annoying. Migraine inducing.
Okay, let me have a little. Okay, let's have a little look at this now. I'll start sharing the Prince Andrew touch, and we can have a little look. I bet this will be fucking put into some sort of like copyright bollocks.
Why? Why were you staying with a convicted?
I'll have to put this on the earphone. I think. I'll listen to it.
Let me send you a.
I felt that doing it over the telephone.
Can anybody hear this in the chat?
Way
Can you hear Prince Andrew chatting?
Oh, in 2010, that certainly wasn't a party to celebrate his release in December.
I mean, you can just hear he's just such a bad liar, man.
10 of us, I think, at the dinner.
You were staying at the house of a convicted sex offender.
It was a convenient place to stay.
He looks like a bull.
I admit,
convenient.
I heard your controlled opposition now. Don't you forget it.
Probably
I'm getting about £9 a day for living it up.
Tendency to be too honourable.
I'm too honourable.
Tendency to be too
Well,
honourable.
that definitely wasn't you getting a foot massage from a Russian girl in Jeffrey Epstein's house.
No.
No thanks. I don't want to be part of your sex festival.
Dan.
It might seem a funny way
sex
to break
people.
off a friendship, a 4-day house party of sorts with a dinner. It's an odd way to break
It's a
up a
difficult way.
friendship.
of
4-day
putting-
house
that-
party
that's a
sounds
very,
like my 40th, mate.
stark way
Minus
of
the
putting
foot
it.
rubs.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
She says she met you in 2001. She dined with you.
2001
danced with
Foot
you.
Odyssey.
You bought her drinks. You were in Tramp nightclub in London. And she
I love
went
the way
on
they
to
call
have
it tramp
sex
because a
with
load of
you
rich people
in
are
a
like, ha ha
house
ha,
in
homeless people,
Belgravia
tramps,
belonging
aha,
to
but we're
Ghislaine
clearly
Maxwell.
very
Didn't
wealthy.
happen. There are a number of things that are wrong with that story. One of which is that I don't know where the bar is in
He doesn't know what the bar is.
Tramps.
Where's the bar?
I don't drink. I don't think I've ever bought a drink in Tramps whenever I was there.
You
Bullshit.
know that you were at home with the children. Was it a memorable night?
On that particular day that we now understand that is the date, which is the 10th of March, I was at home. I
wonder
with
what the
children.
odds of
I'd
this stream
taken
getting
Beatrice
pulled
to,
off.
Express in Woking for a party.
I love the way he's in
I
Woking at
suppose
Pizza
sort of
Express.
4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Why would you remember that so specifically? Why would you remember a Pizza Express birthday and being
Because I
at
have
home?
to.
Going to Pizza Express in Woking is an unusual thing for me to do. A very unusual thing for me to do. I've only been to Woking a couple of
I
times.
mean, do you reckon Emily Matus
and
was
I
trying to
remember it
give him the dig
weirdly,
out?
distinctly. But as soon as somebody
But he just
reminded
was
me of
so
it, I went, "Oh,
such
yes,
a
I remember that."
buffoon, he let himself into it.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Oh, look, he fucked up.
She was very specific about that night. She described dancing with you
No.
and you profusely sweating, and that she went
Can't
on to
dance.
have bath,
there's a-
possibly.
It's
There's a
almost
slight
like
problem
David Brent, isn't it?
With the sweating.
Right.
He had
because,
vouchers.
I have a peculiar motivation, which is that I don't sweat.
That's bollocks. No, it's not.
I didn't sweat at the time, and that was
Didn't sweat.
Yes,
Never sweated.
I didn't sweat at the time
I didn't sweat.
because
Look,
I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at.
when he was a hero, you see.
And I simply it was almost impossible for me to sweat.
She provided a photo of the
Yes.
two of you together.
Yes,
Your arm was around her waist.
yes.
You've
Yes.
seen the photo.
I've seen the photograph.
How do you explain that?
I can't.
You can't.
You think it is you next to her in the photo.
Oh, it's definitely me. I mean, that's a picture of me. It's not a picture of. I don't believe it's a picture of me in London, because when I go out in London, I wear a suit and a tie. That's what I would describe as those are my traveling clothes if I'm going overseas. So I've got plenty of photographs of me dressed in those sorts of
He's just so
kit,
full of
but not
shit,
there.
There was a
man.
witness there, Johanna Stolberg, who says that you did visit the house in that month.
I probably did. I don't think on one of the weird things I was staying with the because of what I was doing, I was staying with the Consul General, which is further down the street on Fifth. So I wasn't
Fifth
staying
what?
there. I may have visited, but no, definitely no activity.
She said she had sex with you 3 times. Once in a London house when she was trafficked to you in Maxwell's house.
Yes.
Once in New York.
Maxwell's
A
house.
month or so later at Epstein's mansion. and
Giles
once
from
on
Buffy
his
was there.
private island
Great
in a
coffee.
group of 7 or 8 other girls.
Anthony Stewart heads after you.
For the record, is there any way you could have had sex with that young woman or any young woman trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein in any of his residences?
No.
Pressure is on now, like.
Without putting too fine a point on it, if you're a man,
That's
it
what
is
she
a
said.
positive act to have sex with somebody. You have to take some sort of positive action, and so
What's
therefore,
that even supposed to mean?
if you try to forget, it's very difficult to try and forget positive action.
Epstein's housekeeper,
does that even
also in
mean?
a Florida court legal deposition, said that you visited the
talk.
Palm Beach residence around 4 times a year. You got a daily massage.
4 times a year?
That was what he said in a Florida court legal deposition.
No.
Times a
I'm just wondering,
year.
when you look back now, is there a chance that those massages might have been the services of someone who was being sexually exploited or trafficked by Epstein? From the palace.
Yep.
At no time did I
Sex
see,
palace.
witness, or suspect any suspicious behavior.
Yep.
Virginia Roberts' legal team says you could not spend time around Epstein and not know what was going on.
If you are somebody like me,
Brings
then
another,
people
brings another,
behave
brings another meaning to
in
the
a
4
such a
seasons.
different way.
You could not spend time around
Mama
him
man.
and not know.
Mama man.
But you'd notice if there were
Who's
hundreds
James
of
English when
underage
he's at home?
girls in Buckingham
Oh,
Palace,
God.
wouldn't you?
But
Or-
but sorry, you would notice if there were hundreds of underage girls in Jeffrey's house. Wasn't there?
You
Jeffrey.
seem utterly convinced you're
Jeffrey.
telling the truth. Would you be willing to testify or give a statement under oath if you were asked?
Well, I'm like everybody else. And I would have to take all the legal advice that there was before I was to do that sort of thing. But if push came to shove and the legal advice was to do so, then I would be duty bound to do so.
Because
Duty
you've
bound
said
to
there are
do
many
so.
unanswered questions.
Such
Everyone
a-
affected wants
Jeffrey.
closure. You would help to provide that closure.
I think there's just as much closure for me as there is for everybody else. In the same way that I have questions to answer, in the sense of what was I doing? What was I doing?
When was your last contact with her?
It was earlier this year, funny enough, in the summer, in the spring, summer.
About what?
She was here doing some rally.
Who's he talking about?
So even though
She was a rally
he
driver,
had
was
by
she?
then been arrested and was facing charges of
No,
sex trafficking.
no. This was early spring, I think. This was long, because when was he arrested?
July.
No, it was before July.
And that was the last time.
Yeah, because
Did you discuss Epstein at all then?
No, not actually. Funnily enough, no, not at all. There wasn't anything to discuss about him.
What was he thinking before
because he
going on
wasn't
this,
in the
man?
news.
Do you know what I
Wasn't-
mean?
You know, it's just we'd moved on.
How do you move on?
He must
from
have been
this?
so confident, like that he was gonna. He thought he was gonna
well,
get some, like the
it's
BBC was
weird.
gonna give him some softball questions.
I'm
This has
carrying
sorted it
on
all
what
out.
I do. I have a number of things that I have been doing since
Sleeping with
2011.
teddies.
We've got 500,000, or just over 500,000 young
She
people.
was in the
who
Donegal
are
rally. Hey,
using the service, and I'm trying to think what else we've got. But
This is quite depressing.
well,
to be honest.
Strings to Brent's bow. Philanthropist.
oh look, it's fucking
We
Sophie
have to
from.
bring this to a
no, I-
close 'cause we're
Keep
running
showing.
out of time. You've talked about a thick skin.
Mhm.
I wonder if you have any sense now of guilt, regret, or shame about any of your behaviour and your friendship with Epstein.
Do I regret the fact that he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming? Yes.
Unbecoming.
Unbecoming. He was a sex offender.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being polite. In the sense that he was a sex offender. He was a sex offender.
Is there anything you feel has been left unsaid that you would like to say now?
No, thank.
No, I don't think so.
Have some,
Your Highness,
have some
thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
compassion. The man is homeless. Well, that was that anyway. Some great chat from Randy Andy, as he used to be called in the tabloids back in the day. God. Dr. Hilary Jones talks some shite. What's it say? Dr. Hilary Jones assesses Prince Andrew's sweating claims. Comments are turned off. You know what? That's weak sauce, that is, man. It's very,
Good comment.
very weak sauce.
Did you get the
I've
link I
seen-
sent you in the private chat?
Oh, really? Yeah. Is it Coco Beware and High Energy theme tune?
Skip it to
Anything
41 minutes.
WWF or WWE gets fucking done so easily. Oh, I know what you've got there, lad.
41 minutes. Skip it to 41.
Skip to 41.
You won't regret it.
Okay. Hopefully we can watch a little bit of this without getting fucking copyright struck. So listen, everyone who's watching this, I mean, if you if we ever do get kicked off, please, if you don't have an Odyssey account and you really value your time spent on Maloney's Digest, this channel that I have, please do subscribe over there, because if the rug gets pulled, we're fucked. And it's very difficult to try and get you fine people into one zone. Let me see. Bear with me now. I will start playing from this moment. Let me see. Drunken Master. Is it Dance of the Mantis?
Quality.
Now skills on that. Give him the camel clutch.
Where's MC? Now you tell me.
That's not fucking around.
Oh no.
Eat the dirt.
Tell me, and I'll free you.
I love the voiceovers, man.
Only at the 10, Let him go. Master.
You can get an app for Odyssey. You can indeed get an app for that. He's in a bad way, Andy, this poor fella. He didn't even hit him, he just went like this. Is that Gandalf?
Let him go. He'll lead us to San C.
San Sereno Stadium.
Oh no! What happened?
You got a fucking hammering up tone. Nice. Blue moon. Is this the bit, is it?
Yeah,
This is the showstopper, is it?
that's on the sauce.
Oh, he's fucking sauced up. He's been out with Gavigan and the boys. Been out with Gavigan and Tommy Boo.
Oh man, he's fucking. They're relentless.
Looks like a man who's been fucking drinking the old rice wine and plenty of it.
He's fucking haunted by it.
His liver cells have become compromised.
He's haunted by sake.
Sam Seed. So we meet at last. I'm called Old Rubber Leg. Oh,
Rubber leg.
Oh,
Is that
rubber
the
legs.
Yes.
Clear moon. Wine brings
That
a clear
man
head.
has no more teeth sauce.
Sometimes drinking alone can bring tranquility.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Sam
Tell me
Seed,
about it.
let's have a drink together.
Tranquility of the
Ah.
sauce.
You've got wine, then I've got time.
I like his style.
Here's to you then.
Oh shit.
Oh, what a volley, man! That was nearly as impressive as that film Goal 3.
White wine.
Dashed at his
Good
head.
Stuff. Good stuff. I'll toast to you then. Many
Boom.
thanks.
Here's to you. A real master. Perfect. Perfect.
Ah, you shouldn't say that.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, these lads are fucking.
I didn't realize this old waist was flexible as that.
You should be more careful.
Thank you.
He looks a bit like Sean McMahon.
Smacking.
He's unreal, man. It just goes to show the power. When you get really pissed, things just happen on autopilot.
Where's your cup?
Fine balance.
Relax.
Never refuse a good wine.
Slowly.
Don't be so polite.
Ooh, get it into you.
Okay, I won't be so polite. Keep your glass at all times.
Graham Russell. All right, Graham, lad.
No matter what
Where's Bevan
life
Castletown?
may give.
Galway, man. Galway. Welcome to the party, Graham Russell.
I'd ask the hour of the full moon before I'd ask for another drink. Now you're wasting it here.
Stop it up
Yeah,
a damp
the
puff
punch
this
off
way.
a Crabber 12 and a punch off McGregor as a chaser.
Now listen.
Just to knock the
You've come all
cobwebs
this
off him.
way just to meet me. There must be
These
some
shoes
reason
hit
for
different
such a
after the
long
pandemic.
journey.
Some seed style of drunken boxing is a legend. I just wanted to see it for myself.
Sometimes the legend may tell a lie. But I suppose I should admit I have never yet lost.
I love the way he's got a red nose. Broken blood
Some
vessels
guys
are a
never
dead
learn
giveaway
their
of
own
the drunken
weaknesses.
master.
As a horse never sees its face. Am I right?
Chinese pint man.
Start scrapping.
When's the fight happening? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Just get the fucking foreplay out of the way. Oh, you Richie. Your man in black has got a proper boozer.
It was the best I could get, and you've gone and wasted it all.
Yeah, I saw you had a little hip flask on him. Shit, he's got some proper
Oh,
Chii.
man.
It was distilled by
Well,
Bob
come up now.
Bear a fucking slip on loafers on that lad. Great muscles, a fucking great lad. You have to come on for a
music.
chance, Grail, man. You have to come on. Fucking great to have you on to hear your insights. Jack Russell's snapping at the heels of a Rottweiler. Can we watch some Stephen French? I'd like to watch some of the Stephen French.
Yeah, do it, man.
I don't want to get fucking done. Do you know what I mean? Don't want to get.
I don't know how it works. I'll be honest. If you put any other YouTube video on there, they'll just take you off. They'll give you a strike.
Yeah, well, it depends. Like, depends. I think because we were just watching that for too long. I mean, it hasn't been cancelled yet. Maybe I'll just check my. If I go to the studio and see, have I got another snidey account? Because I'm doing this on StreamYard, so I don't know if I'm getting warnings that won't show up on StreamYard. You see.
Fuck 'em.
Well, it says channel violations, active community guide strikes 1. Oh, look. Okay, we've got 7 copyrights.
7.
7 important notifications. Video received a copyright claim. A few people have told me that some of these assholes just like they'll copyright a weird tone that'll get picked up by the algorithm to steal money from people. Copywriter, this is one you'll like, Graham Russell. A copywriter owner claims some content in your video. Predator 2 and Merseyside. Please note this is not a copyright strike. Age restrictions set. Your content, Atherstone Super Smash 2019, may not be appropriate for all audiences, so we place an age restriction on it. Okay, cool. Appeal rejected. Thank you for your appeal. After the review, we've determined that your content, The Ways of Babylon Swanson on a Friday night, does violate
Babylon Swanson.
Like, imagine someone had to go and look at that, right? And they were like, Babylon Swanson. A video owner in content of your video, Men Behind the Wire, please do note it's not a copyright strike. So I haven't got anything yet, which is good. So if I go to the fucking Steve French, right? Yeah, right. You get me? The cat's outside. He's a great cat for turning up during the live streams, man. He's an absolute hunk. He's an ebony fantasy of the Persian faction. Let me see. The Sun is putting up some really depressing footage of people killing each other in what looks like horrible trench warfare in Bakhmut. Cheers for that, The Sun. And at the end of it, right, at the end of these videos, they have the fucking goal to be like and subscribe. Fuck off. Stephen French. I'll just get Kyle Cleghorn on, the guy who did that fantastic Stephen French. Liverpool gangster Stephen French, the devil tells a story. But there's one, right, which there was one brilliant one where okay, we'll put this one on. Okay. Did you get me? Yeah, right. Okay. Oh man, I've got to get Steve French on, man. I'd love to hear his insights.
The devil.
The devil. The big, devil bad, himself. Wicked devil Frenchman. So I'm going to start streaming this. Did you get me? Yeah? Yeah, right. What did I do? Asked Graham Russell. It wasn't you, mate. It was the video that you were in, fucking YouTube and the algorithms. You know what I mean? Big trouble. Moving targets. Didn't Kurt Russell come later out and say, save the green-eyed lass? He did indeed. Nice knife. Goodbye, Mr. Burton. It's all in the reflexes. Who'd win in a fist fight out of Stephen French or Per Blackie? It's a good question. I loathe people who say, smash the like button. It makes me not wanna. Haha. Yeah, I mean, how are you supposed to reach through the screen and smash it? You know what I mean? It's like, you can only hit the like button. Well, actually, speaking of which, please smash that like button. And also, if you're enjoying this, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, if you enjoy this fucking thing, don't forget, man, PayPal/me, Maloney's Digest, The Touch. It does help me out very much. Because I tell you one thing, the heating's fucking expensive and the rent is crucifying. That's what you get for divorcing. Yeah, baby. I wouldn't recommend it, lads and ladies. If you've got, love the one you're with, do you know what I mean? This is another one that I said, Maloney's Digest, _touch obliged. I just thought I'd get that in there. Because I'm not putting ads on me videos because I'm like, unless you got YouTube Premium, like I now have, because I couldn't fucking deal with adverts anymore because they're loathsome. David Murray, what is this? Did you see the Gary Lineker stuff? Just join the stream. So no, I haven't mentioned it. I saw something going on with him. But Gary Lineker, man, you know, good at football, but you know, he's a fucking he's embedded in the world at BBC. 1 second, I'm just gonna let this cat in. Nice one, Malish. He'll just be stuck outside me, Alan, for the next 10 minutes. Where were we? Oh, yeah, Steve French.
Gary Lineker.
Sorry about that, lads. Fucking dog. The dog needs to go out as well. I'll have to do that soon in the -10 job. Okay, we're going to watch a bit of Steve French here now, lads and ladies, okay? Now, I love it. Look in the background there. You've got the samurai. Andy, can you see my cursor here at all? Can you see that?
No, one sec.
Because it'd be nice to know if I could illustrate my point.
Yeah, I can see it.
You can all see the cursor. Okay, that's great. Basically, he has the BBC in meltdown and has caused all the pundits to strike. Hello, Irish Newfoundland Bear. How you doing? Danny Dyer versus Danny DeVito. That's a good question. I'd like to see that happen one day. Okay, wait to see this for a strong opener. You ready?
Konnichiwa. Those of you who don't know who I am, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Stephen French, and today's date is the 3rd of April, 2021. I'm making this short video by way of explanation as to my true identity. I am a martial arts Hall of Fame fighter.
And that was censored Ronnie Caldwell.
I was chosen out of 5,000 students to receive the Kazuna Katana.
Kazuna Katana. For the rest
samurai
of days.
I hear a lot.
Martial arts master.
It's like something Mark Mulholland would have. Kazuna Katana. It's my favorite.
For my 6th dan Shotokan International karate instructor.
How would Mark Mulholland get on against
second dan?
One way to find out.
Awarded to me by the legendary Danny Connor.
Would he get a mention?
Steven Seagal fucking did my kata. Fucking Steven Seagal graded me.
And world kickboxing champion.
The bear jumped out of the cake with the fucking bats out.
Now,
under siege, man. Under siege.
Because there's
siege continues.
Fucking cruise control, lad.
The French
cruise control.
Under siege to fucking cruise control.
Love a bit of siege work, me, lad.
Fucking when fucking Denise Richards jumped out of the cake.
in
Oh yeah, when that
1981.
bird came out the cake and she had boobs and
Fucking
everything. That was the best bit, lad. Like when I watched that, I got a bit of an add-on.
Oh mate, that was formative. That was
Oh,
formative.
I was gonna put something else on that was funny. Oh please, Lord.
Oh, put on them like a moonlit shadow.
Ooh, fucking Dave Angel, Eco
That
Warrior.
came on in the car the other day. Fucking Olivia Newton-John. I was like, driving along. I was like, yeah, it's fucking funny. Like a moonlit shadow.
Da ba do da ba da da ba ba da da masapu.
Oh, no, don't. You get a strike. Hang on, I'm trying to think of things you could put on and not get a fucking strike. Nothing.
What about TV show fights? They're usually quite entertaining.
Don't Russia have like a new show where they have to fight in a phone booth? That's the whole thing. Whoever wins in the enclosed space.
I mean, who thinks of these? Okay, includes paid promotion. I won't be watching any of that shite, lad.
Put it on.
I love it. Why can't TV in Ireland be like this? Starts with a bit of grip fighting. Please. Please. Was that it? It's Russell Brand. He's let himself go.
Oh, right. Oh. Do it. Dig it.
I like the synth music they use. It's a bit shite. This is Geraldo.
Let me tell you.
What's the fist? I love there's a guy in this who goes, "What the fuck's going on here, man?" Oh, I didn't even show it, man. Ooh.
هو الذي يتنطط انت اللي يتنطط والخيار من يدفع اكثر لا انت اللي بدأت انا اخرس لا انت اللي بدأت
Look at that.
يا اخوان
That table was rocking like the QE2 on a stormy night. Look at that for a bit of table work. Talk about the oval.
Leave it.
Bit intense there, isn't it? It's vibes. Do you ever remember the swearing preacher, man? He was brilliant back in the E-Bounds world days. Oh, that's a nice bit of dig work going on there. Doosh. Nice bit of douche work. I like the way they flipped the screen in mirror mode there, just so you... Lovely bit of grip work there. Beautiful. Beautiful bit of work. What? Oh, Jerry Springer. I'm not marrying you ever. There's a copyright strike.
Last Wednesday I took her to Red Lobster, bro.
He took her out to Red Lobster. So that was that anyway. Those
Red
are
Lobster.
strong lads, says Sean. I loved watching Asian politicians. Actually, there's some really good fights inside. Like I think it's South Korea. Have you seen them, Andy? Where like, sorry,
I'll send you a link.
Oh.
South Korea.
Yeah, they got some sweet fights that go on.
It's a Bloodsport 2 job.
Here we go. Here comes the fucking. Here comes the copyright.
Oh my fucking gosh! Trust
Oh my
me!
fucking gosh.
Stink off!
Jungle is massive. I saw a meme a couple of weeks ago. Someone had replied to on Twitter, right? And it had Mike Tyson. Let's see if I can get a picture of this.
Oh shit! Absolutely on fire tonight!
There's a picture of looks like this. It just says "Jeetheth Quife." That's some nice jungle that is, man. Straight out of the 90s. That is.
Motherfucking feeling good!
You know what I used to love watching? Really bad national anthem fails.
Oh yeah, man. Got to put one of them on.
Oh man, is that?
Second time around, reached out to the message that the wanted it second time around. We send it out to you.
Anything X Factor is off limits as well because we'll stop that there, Andito. Thank you very much for that contribution, my lad. I just don't want to fucking push it too far. Okay. But you know, like back in the day, I wonder is E-Bombs World still a thing?
Have a look.
Let me have a little look. Oh, this is the one I was thinking of. Like this poor girl, man. This is just, it's hard. I mean, obviously the fucking resolution value is still 2005 level, but we will. I mean, you just got to see this to believe it, man. Can you believe what you're about to see? That is the question. It's like Ripley's Believe It or Not. Okay, let's go and check out this. She's a cunt.
What's this?
No res on that, man.
Filmed on a fucking toaster.
Oh no, the pressure.
Who's that?
Oh man, watch this now. Oh no. Oh no. So waiting to see this is fucking insane. I mean, poor woman, man. I like the way that those dudes were like, get the game going, play the game. They were just like, time to play the game. Yeah.
I'm only got put on the WWF song.
see, anything that's under the umbrella of WWF just gets instant fucking copyright. I'll have to just keep checking my YouTube notifications on the other page just to be like, still in the game, man, still in the game. Whatever it was with Vatos Locos, man, Andy, it's such a fucking great film. It was just setting up to be one of the best.
Is that the same as Blood In, Blood Out? Is that different?
No, it's Blood In, Blood Out was that was the big film in like the 90s. It was 93, and your man Damien Eyepatch, whatever his name is. So basically, I love this, man. Lewis Scott absolutely steamed just back from the town, man. Good video. I let Lewis Scott by. Put on some hockey fights. That's it. Hey, let's not get too nasty. A young Benjamin Bratt, that's right, yeah. Funny enough, I found that strange because he had the same name as my ex-girlfriend did. We should never have made it to the rockets glaring. You know, it's funny, I was just thinking the other day, I was out walking the dog and I was thinking like how mad it must be to live in the States where you can just buy guns. I'm not bashing it or you know, or glorifying it, but it's just the concept of like you can go down to like the supermarket and be like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna buy like a 9mm handgun, you know, and then
gas. Stock up on gas.
Yeah, you know, but it's just like there's so many nutty possibilities out there. Like you've got absolute headers who see the thing is that, like someone put up some quote by Henry Rollins today and he was like, we need like less guns, more brains, and it was like gun owners can't refute that. And it's kind of like, well, yeah, because I mean the country was born by the musket and it's part of the Second Amendment, and it's also another clause in case the government gets a bit too tyrannical. It's like within the, you know, the Constitution that you can, you know, form a militia against enemies, foreign and domestic. But it's just
arms.
But yeah, it was like, you know, it's a bear arms. But you know, it must be like it's mad enough when you grow up in England and Ireland that you're gonna get like a fucking hammering off a pack of lads, or like worse, like stabbed or something. But like, you can imagine some of the fucking nutters in the UK and Ireland that if they had guns, it'd just be a fucking shit show, man. So like the only way, like it's basically, it's a bit of a kind of like the spider and the fly, you know, the woman who ate the spider to catch the fly and so on. So it's just too late, you know. There's so many guns in circulation that anyone who wants to use a gun for intimidatory reasons will do it, you know. And,
you might as well. If everyone's got one.
Yeah.
You might as well.
Yeah, it's funny enough. So, like, you look at Chicago or LA or, you know, I don't know. They're two of like the most, like, two of the, like, this is just like an observation. They have the highest regulations on guns, but the most gun crime. And it's like, well, that didn't fucking work, did it? It's not. Is it? The other thing is like, you know, a gun. What makes it so dangerous is the fact that you can be any geek off the street and you can just like pull a trigger and you've got like this projectile that can.
The funniest was like when that Japanese politician got fucking.
Yeah, what was that about, man?
This guy came up to him with some fucking shit he'd made in Fallout 4 on a workbench. Just like,
you got the schematics for it.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, I saw some fucking geniuses in the States. They were printing 3D guns that cost $34, and there was like this buyback thing. So they just printed a load and got like $250 or something buyback. So they were like, they just made a load at home, brought them in, got turned $34 into like 250. Just brought a whole basket of them in.
It's the way forward. Like buy a 3D printer, just make guns for people.
But the thing is, yeah, like
you won't get a strike for that, I guarantee you. You could say that and not get a strike. The second you play fucking Duran Duran, they're all over you.
It's real when she's dancing on the shore. Bop, 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 bop. Yeah, but you know, like that's the mad. You can't even have an air rifle without a license in Ireland because they're so shit scared of the people actually fucking rising up against the cronyism. That's That's the crack there. You can imagine if Ireland. Imagine if like if someone just fucking dropped a whole load of like machine guns and ammo just out of a plane all over the place, and then you get
Battle
fucking
Royale style.
Hmm?
Like Battle
Wait, what?
Royale.
Battle Royale, yeah.
Battle Royale. Like,
Man, Ireland would be fucking nuts if everyone just like had if you had the same kind of gun access to guns you had in the States. Could you imagine?
mate.
Oh, there's a fucking bit of land down there, and that's my fucking land. That's my land. Oh, it's not your fucking land. That's mine. That's been in my land. That land has been in my family for generations. How's it
Central
fuck?
would be like fucking Dodge City.
Oh, it'd be like fucking the good, the bad, and the breakfast rolls.
Jambons and bullets.
Edward O'Neill. Ed O'Neill, how you doing, baby boy? New speakers are in the flat now. Kabisi Bora. Ed O'Neill is what's known as an audiophile. He has a whole wall of records. How you doing, Ed, man? How's the form, my man? You keeping it chill? You keeping it vibrant? What's the jazz? Remember that little plastic thing that Malkovich used in the Line of Fire? What is the Line of Fire? Line of Fire. Is it one of
Malkovich.
Line of Fire? 1993 film. Oh, it's Clint Eastwood job. Rene Russo. He's still on the go as Clint Eastwood for about He must be about fucking 203 now, is he?
Yeah.
1930. 92.
95, he's like films where he's
Gary
like,
Cole was in it. Do you remember the
two
Midnight
minutes,
Caller? Midnight Caller. I remember the lad fucking enjoying his time off. Man, Ed, you earned it. Pistols and points, yeah. But you see, the thing is, if you can make 3D guns, that's one thing. But how the hell do you make the bullets and the ammo? You'd have to have like you can make gunpowder. I think it's out of like sodium.
man from,
and
what's his name from
potash.
fucking what's that film with the fucking graboids? Tremors. That geezer just makes his own bullets. Him and his wife.
Oh, the one with the elephant gun.
Tremors.
Yeah, the elephant gun.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You
I
used
used to
that
love
guy.
that when I was a kid. Yeah, I mean, you can do it. I think to make it, you need to have sodium, or it's like the yellow sulfur. I think you need sulfur and ash. I will look this up in case anyone's thinking of making their own bullets. But then you'd need like something to pack them into casings, and then you'd need like the tips, the lead tips. I mean, it'd take a long time to do, and it'd probably be. But if you got the right gear, it's like home brewing. You have all the bottle cappers and all that.
You won't get a strike for teaching people how to make bullets.
Hmm?
You won't get a strike for teaching people how to make bullets.
Okay, saltpeter, which is potassium nitrate, sulfur, I was right, and charcoal. Together, these materials will burn rapidly and explode as a propellant. So, according to this, 15% charcoal, 75% potassium nitrate. And we all know that potassium is the most reactive metal on the periodic table, and 10% sulfur. Now, that's interesting, isn't it? Very interesting indeed. I think if I was saltpeter, get it from Ijeon Poop.
Saltpeter is a great name.
I see that you went. See what happened there, Matt? I can see looking at my keypad here that you went to press the P, but you hit the bracket button beside it. But you get it from pigeon poop. Oh, interesting. Bananas have potassium and are gun-shaped. Discuss. Would you like to discuss that?
Banana-shaped guns.
Hey, I was actually thinking about the other day, Andy, that footage of you when you were in like that gun range when you were doing like some, where were you, in Texas, and you were like doing that gun assault course.
Yeah, they had no rules, no nothing, no like fucking bit where they teach you how to use it. It's like there's a table full of guns, knock yourself out. We'll film it.
Sounds brilliant, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Matt, what's the story with gun ranges there in Arizona? Any chance of going to one of them? Is there? Like when you shoot guns, it's like you think it's going to be like, and it's just like tat, 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 tat. It's like it's not as mental as you'd think from like computer games and films. It's all a bit like it's like when I first went to the States, I thought it was going to be like how it looked in the films. It was just like it looks like how it looks in the films, but you can only see it from one continuous point of view. Whereas like it's like CSI Miami, and it's like helicopter shots, skyscrapers, women on a beach, fucking lads on jet skis, all that kind of stuff. It's like bah, 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 bah. It's like when you watch a tourism advertisement, it's just showing you the best bits, and you get there, then you're being fleeced by lads in fucking outside airports, like I was in Mexico. When we were going back in Cancun, we got the cab, and this dude, he was wearing like he was wearing a light blue shirt that looked like he could have worked for TUI, and he was like, "Who are you flying with, man?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm flying with TUI." "Okay, I take your bags, man." I was like, "Okay, cool," and I was like, "Yeah, cheers for that. Yeah, could have done that myself." And he was like, "You got anything, man? So I have a nice day." And I was like a fucking idiot, pulled out of like a fucking wallet full of dollars. I was like, "Can I have a tenner?" And afterwards, I got pissed off about it because I was like, just like, even though it was a tenner, it was the principle of like how I got fleeced so naively. It's like the time me and Tordoff went to London, and because we were used to like the honest life in Mayo, Chris was like, "Oh, I'd love a bit of weed," and I was like, "Yeah." This lad will give you something. He's like, "What you want, man?" "Yeah, cool. Whatever you need. Yeah, give me £10, mate. Yeah, lovely." And he's like, "Oh, that was quick." And then when he went to open up, it was oregano. So yeah, we got fucking careless, man.
Sort of.
Yeah. Do you miss living in London, Andy? Do you?
Not really. I mean, when you're younger, yeah, it's great. Fucking everything's there. It's really convenient. But in Dublin, you can just get
New
into
York
town in
on
like
your doorstep.
fucking 15 minutes. I'd love to live in New York.
Yeah, I mean, when I went the first time I was ever in London, I was 26, and I was like, "Fucking hell, man, this is class." And then the more times I went, I was just kind of like, "Oh, I just want to go home." But it's good fun. What's that place? The Roadhouse. There's an Irish guy who owns that place. Who looks like Mickey Rourke. It's in Hoxton. I think it's called the Roadhouse. The house. I like the way they've gentrified like these old like tenement blocks and made them all fancy for like, "Oh yeah, I live down in Brick Lane. It's refurbished. It's great. Yeah. So I'm gonna be
Exactly
working.
how they sound as well.
What?
It's exactly how they sound. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm going for a cheeky curry down Brick Lane. Yeah, bring back some wings from the corner. Yeah, cheers. Cool. Yeah, I was gonna have an online meeting there at 12:40, and later on, I'm just gonna have some pints.
So smashed on Chang last night. Unbelievable.
Oh, Changzilla.
That's crazy. Rose House.
Yeah, that is the fucking crack. So, any plans to come over here anytime soon, Andito Banderas?
Yeah, for sure. Summer.
Nice, man. Summer's a good time to come here. July, it gets very hot here. It gets up to like 34 degrees, and then it's like that hot for a week. Gets hot for a week, and then it's. You know what? Like August is nice. I mean, like for me personally, I mean, I don't. It's like anything after, like if I'm out after 4 o'clock, that's all right. But like even in Sweden or Ireland, man, if I'm out in the sun, I get fucking roasted, man. What's the state of the skyline? I don't know, man. I wish I'd bought that skyline. Then again, I would have bought it, and then it would have been like a few grand spent on a car that would have been left in a shed somewhere. And I'd be like, "Oh, that'll make a few quid. That'll make a few quid." And then it'd be like, "That car, we have to move it again." The clutch is gone on it, and it'd just be loads of fucking hassle. Is it humid here though? It is, Sean. It is. It can be humid enough, but it's quite in the summer. It gets very dry. It's you know, you can you can smell the pine from the forests, especially in the middle of July, man. It's very arid. I was on this island called Grinda, which is a cool little island. It's only about 2 kilometers by about 1.5 kilometers. And
Grinda.
yeah, it's great, man. Grinda means gate, and I suppose it's like a small island in the Swedish archipelago, but it's very dry. Lovely little spot. Great place if you have a little mountain bike. You can go around on the tracks. Boris got the Skyline, drove it to Kiev. What do you think of Boris Johnson, man? He's a total twat, isn't he? Matt, what? Thoughts on Boris Johnson, Andy?
No, mate, he's an absolute fucking ghoul.
Ghoul.
He's
Matt
a ghoul,
Hancock
man.
is a prick. See that thing about Matt Hancock when he came out with what he'd been up to? He's like, we got to scare them with the new wave. How's he fucking not in jail, man?
Matt Hancock. I don't
Oh,
know.
I think as Patrick says, organising the Swedish group pints. I think we could definitely do this. I think it's it's essential. I like this, man. Custard Gannet. Volvo 760 diesel with massive exhaust coming out of the bonnet. What do you make of that in backwoods of Sweden? They're known. Those lads are known as raggare, which apparently translates to Swedish youth in big American cars. And yeah, that happens a lot. Actually, there's a couple of petrol heads over here who really do appreciate the Swedish engineering behind retro Volvos, and the way in Ireland you'd have like Toyotas or Nissans that are like tuned up to the gills by young fellas. They do it with Volvos over here, and Volvos actually, you know, like they've got some, you know, got the 3-liter turbo V70s, and they're quick, man. They're very fast. Turbos. Let's see. Nah, the Raggera are different from the A Tractor lads. Yeah, you see the A Tractor boys. They are. You can take an old BMW, or any old car really, and then you put some sort of limiter on them, and then you cut the back off them and turn it into like a pickup truck, kind of similar to a Ute in Australia, and they can't go any faster than 40 miles an hour, I don't think. But apparently, you can take an old banger, turn them into one of those tractors, and sell them to kids under 17, and you can actually get more money for them when they're turned into those tractors than you could do if it was a regular car of that era. So that's my 2 cents, Custard Gannet, on that. I take it you've been over there a good fucking few times. You live in Sweden, are you? Shit, those mofo tutus jam up on you like a biatch and gotta slide that rack like a mug. Sean, do you own guns, mate? You know, you live in the land of the. If you lived in the States, Andy, would you have guns?
Yeah, man. You got to plan for the fucking. I'll be a prepper for sure. Fucking have a dig out a tunnel like John Goodman in that movie.
Fucking
Cloverfield Paradox, whatever the fuck it's called.
Wasn't Chris O'Dowd in one of those movies?
Don't know, but I'd do it full John Goodman in the Cloverfield shit. Yeah,
I only seen the first Cloverfield film, and then I kind of thought they really missed a trick in that, because they should have had 2 versions. They should have had like the cinematic normal version and the handheld version. You know, it's like, if you're gonna go through all that expense, just fucking knock up an Alpha and a beta version of Cloverfield, because it was like.
You see that new one with him, right? With the shed. Is it the shed? The how people in the shed?
Shed people.
With your man from fucking Guardians of the Galaxy, the big geezer.
Oh, Batista, wrestler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know the one you're about. It's like I've seen that. It's like 4 people turn up to a cabin in the woods, and they're
To stop the world ending, we have to bash your brains out in this shed, basically.
Oh, have you seen it?
Can you hear me?
I can't. Yeah. Have you seen that film?
Hello? Yeah, shit.
Distant Mammoth says John Goodman dug a tunnel in Raising Arizona too. I heard he was working on the fucking the new tunnelbaner line here in Stockholm. What's to say here? Glocks are my favorite. Easy to clear when they jam. I love this. I do when I don't. I had a case in 2012, and now I can be legal. Were you doing some fucking? Saw a video the other day on Twitter of some lad.
Glockenspiel.
It was just like, this is how I keep the rent cheap in this area. They just puts a gun outside the window and just fucking empties the magazine into the sky. There's some fucking shitty parts of the States, man. I mean, it's like, no, maybe they should like fix their own.
Yeah, the Mission is bad. The Mission district is fucking horrible, considering it's a tourist spot. Tourists go there and it's like, oh yeah, it's people just fucking injecting in their legs in the street. What?
Where's this?
Mission in San Francisco.
Where's that?
Like it's this tourist spot and people are just fucking shooting up left, right, and center.
If you ever catch a felon, you have to wait 10 years for your FOID card to even be considered. Yeah, fair enough. What are you drinking there, boss man? This is called the original lime drink from Finland. It's like a gin drink. It's not bad. Drink a couple and you get a good buzz on. Only police and criminals have them. Interesting. Yeah, but it's really part of the culture over there in the States, though. You know, it's like it's like a thing. People just go out and go to gun clubs, and people like Bridget Nielsen in Beverly Hills Cop 2. Bad guys. What was that? Harold Faltmeyer. Do 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 do. It's very Bowie-esque, that song. Bad guys. Check out 3 Gun Nation. It was a TV show that my band Greenhaven did the theme song for. I did the voiceovers for the first year. Gun Nation. 3 Gun Nation. Do 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 do. Bad guys, good girls, sad eyes. 3 Gun Nation. Three Gun Nation was the first and only competitive shooting league in history, which followed rules based in practical shooting and promoted. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. TV series 2011. I like it. Right, give me just 1 second. I'll let you hold the phone and address some of the commenters while I put the dog in the laundry room and let the cat in. Like, you know, it's so tedious. He meows to come in, and then you open the door for him. Then he's letting the fucking heat in the street. I ain't got time for that, man. I don't like it. What can you do? I'm not gonna leave the sucker who gets caught. No, fair enough. I mean, like, Chicago's fucking crazy. We seem to have lost Andy. My dad had to wear a bulletproof vest every day under his clothes, even though he was a plainclothes detective. Yeah, I can understand that. I have the season 1 opening in my videos if you're interested. Yeah, actually, is that on YouTube, Matt? Give Matt a subscription there as well, guys. Keep in touch with the main man. I spoke to Stevie Kelly, the cowboy, about myself himself going to Arizona. I think he needs to go and buy a proper 10-gallon cowboy hat while he's there and do a bit of yeehawing and fire some Colt revolvers into the air on horseback, just living the dream, and maybe sip some bourbon with Big Don Fry. That'd be good fun over there, man. We get to hang out with some Komodo dragons. How do you like those Komodos over there in Arizona? But we'd have to do a live stream from Arizona as well, which would be Martin's dog got the puss. Good boy. But that'd be good, man. Do a live stream from Arizona. Saying that though, I couldn't do it on my phone because it'd be a fucking ripoff. I remember going to the States about 10 years ago. It was in Florida, and I just like checked one website on the phone, and I got this message saying you've now spent €45 on data. I was like, jeez. So I had to phone up Vodafone and be like, I'm not paying that, man. That's extortionate. Your man Jamie Carr is stateside, is he? Good old Jamie. He's a good lad, man. He's a good lad. Well, I think I'm going to have to go and take the dog out for a walk, take the cat in, feed the cats, and then climb the wooden hill. But thank you all very much for sticking around tonight. Thank you to Andito Banderas for stalling in. I was a bit the energy level started high, and I kind of like lost the rhythm of it just because I'm a bit wrecked. It was an early start, boy. It was an early start. Anyway, I'll leave it there, and I might try and do a little stream midweek as well. But always good to see you all in the chat. You're fucking sound boys and women. And on that note, taking the dog for a walk is slang for. I was €45 for just the data I used on checking one website. So yeah, I think maybe that things have changed since then. Everyone go and watch In the Line of Fire now. Late peeps, see you next mission. Anyway, all of you, have a nice weekend and really enjoy tomorrow and Sunday. Really put the feet up, have some nice food. Paj Maharaj, man. Why did you come in so late? But it's good to see you as always, brother, man. So there's going to be gigs in London. If any of you guys are coming over to London, that's going to be 21st, 22nd. Definitely 22nd in Laurels and Harrow. It's a pub in Harrow. It's going to be good fun. It's going to be a fucking wild one. It'll go on late. So we'll try and get a couple more gigs over in the States sorted. Maybe go over to Chicago, join that block party with Sean. Spill a drop of Beetlejuice. Anyway, that's me for the night. Good luck and God bless to you all.